Her heart raced. For years she had taught piano to children, played at weddings, and filled Sunday church services with melodies. But her dream of performing on a real stage had slipped away under the weight of bills, a sick mother, and the responsibilities of life. Her friend Janet raised an eyebrow. "You're really going to audition?" Carol smiled faintly. "What's the worst that could happen?" The concert hall was overwhelming. Crystal chandeliers, portraits of stern composers, polished marble floors. She felt like a sparrow among peacocks. Other contestants boasted about conservatory training and international competitions. Carol quietly waited with her audition number pinned to her dress. When her turn came, she stepped onto the vast stage. 3 judges sat in the front row, but all eyes were drawn to one man, Maestro Vincent Ashworth. Silver-haired, elegant, legendary, he scanned Carol like a surgeon about to dismiss a hopeless case. "Name?" he asked coldly. "Carol Peterson. I taught piano for 15 years. Ashworth smirked. "Elementary school." His voice dripped with disdain. "And what will you attempt today?" "Debussy's Clair de Lune." He leaned back with a cruel smile. "One of the most nuanced works in the Impressionist repertoire. Tell me, Miss Peterson, do you truly believe teaching Mary Had a Little Lamb prepares you for Debussy?" The words stung, but Carol drew strength from memories of her grandmother, who first placed her tiny hands on piano keys and whispered, "Music isn't about impressing. It's about letting the world see your soul." "I believe music speaks through those who let it," Carol said softly. Ashworth chuckled. "How quaint. Very well. Play." The hall fell silent. Carol closed her eyes, took a breath, and began. The first notes floated like liquid moonlight. Her touch was gentle, flowing, imperfect, yet filled with poetry. She didn't just play Debussy. She painted with sound. Moonbeams shimmered, water rippled, clouds drifted, all through her fingertips. The maestro's smirk faded. He leaned forward. The other judges stopped writing, their pens frozen mid-air. By the final notes, the hall felt transformed. The silence after was thick, sacred. Ashworth's voice had lost its sharpness. "Where did you study?" "State College," Carol answered simply. "But my real teacher was my grandmother." The maestro's eyes softened. "Play something else." Carol hesitated. "It's not classical, it's something I wrote years ago." "Play it," Ashworth said, almost pleading. Her fingers moved, and an original melody filled the hall. It wasn't polished or academic. It was raw and deeply human. The story of a daughter caring for her sick mother, of dreams deferred, of love and loss. Gospel whispers, folk simplicity, lullabies of memory, all woven into one song. The judges sat transfixed. Mrs. Harrison, known for her stern critiques, wiped tears from her eyes. Ashworth felt a lump in his throat, thinking of his own late mother humming while she baked bread. Carol's piece ended in a quiet resolution, like grief surrendering to peace. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Ashworth stood and clapped. Genuine, unrestrained applause. "Magnificent," he whispered. "Where have you been hiding?" Carol smiled faintly. "I wasn't hiding, I was teaching, living." The maestro approached the stage. "In 25 years I've heard prodigies from the finest conservatories. But you," he searched for words, "you reminded me why I fell in love with music in the first place." Mrs. Harrison added, "We'd like to offer you a place as soloist in our summer concert series." Carol gasped. "But I don't have the credentials." Ashworth cut her off with a laugh, this time warm. "Credentials? You have something far greater. You can make people feel. 3 months later, Carol returned to that same stage, but this time the seats were full. Friends, neighbors, church members, even her former students filled the hall. She wore a simple black gown, but what radiated? Backstage, Ashworth straightened his bow tie. "Nervous?" "Excited," Carol said with a smile. "There's a difference." When she walked on stage, the audience erupted in applause before she even touched the keys. She spotted a little girl in the crowd, eyes wide, leaning forward with wonder, just as she once had at her grandmother's piano. Carol sat, placed her hands on the keys, and played, not just music, but a message. Dreams deferred are not dreams denied. The most extraordinary talent can come from the most ordinary people.